the best in this sport. Whether you like it or not, learn to love it because it's the best thing going today. Woo!
Welcome in. Players section is live. We got Tavarres King, Knowshon Moreno, the champ up there in the house. He's got the universal belt on. Cheers, my guys. Cheers.
Hey, with the belt on, you need two and just.
Hey, you want me to stone cold it?
Yeah.
I don't know if he's at Roman Reigns level yet. If Andy Stowe's watching, he can't carry them two belts. He's got to Knowshon gonna have to work a little more, get them both belts on there.
Hey, just one right now, but I'm planning on getting them all.
Oh man.
Hey, have you seen the Georgia one? The Georgia one they put out since the title with the back-to-back logos on the side
is pretty clean. I need me one of those.
Yeah,
pretty cool.
I need that too.
Hey, here's Andy Stowe on here. We got Andy in here. You gotta get some Sting in the intro.
Man,
okay,
that's my favorite. Sting is my all-time favorite. Boy, come down with that bat. Boy, he was smooth with the bat. Come on.
Alex Page in here. We got Tim Collins in here. Chris Taylor, Rhett Womack, all the usuals in here, guys. Share it with your friends, family, your mama, everybody. Like, put it out there. Let them know. Hit that like button. Hit subscribe. And guys, as promised, every other week we're going to try to have you a nice guest on here. And our man TK hooked us up with a former Georgia Bulldog himself, none other than former inside linebacker Armarlo Herrera. Armarlo, thank you for joining us here on the players section, man.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
Hey, we're excited to have you on. TK, Knowshon, floor is yours.
Yeah.
Talk to you guy Marlo here.
Yeah, Marlo. It was definitely, like Blayne said, definitely great having you on. It was super easy to get my guy, man. My guy was just was just a loving dude. You would think somebody to just chase people around and just smack the shit out of them, that just be mean. But no, Marlo was like, yes, sir. I'll hop on there with y'all, boys. So appreciate you you coming on, like Blayne said. But man, man, want to get right to it, straight to it, man. Knowshon always talk about, well, everybody always talks about, Georgia's running back but we've had some, crazy linebackers come through, since you've been there before your time as well. Guys like TD, Odell Thurman, and then our era, Danielle Ellerby. I mean, it's so many. Speak to just Rennie Curran. My bad, Rock man. My bad, my fault. Speak to that, bro. Look, my daughter called me. Speak to how how awesome it is just to come into a linebacker heavy tradition university.
Man, it's I really didn't know the tradition of anything about Georgia until I got there. So being around those guys and then meeting the former guys and seeing what they done, it's amazing. And being able to play around like one of the greats and Alec and Tree, seeing him play and just wanting to be like him and do what he do, it's amazing. I know we don't get a lot of credit as linebacker but we done had linebackers drafted pretty much every 1 to 2 years. So it's amazing.
I mean, look at the league. Look at the league right now. The league right now, you got Leonard Floyd out there who's out there tearing it up for Georgia. Of course, Nakobe Dean's going to be playing in the Super Bowl as a rookie here in a couple weeks. Georgia last year had Nakobe Dean drafted in the 3rd round, but you had Quay Walker drafted in the 1st and Channing Tindall also drafted. So that tradition has carried on. I just wanted to ask you, Marlo, I saw a tweet you put out when Georgia was dismantling TCU, as you see TK's shirt presented by Smack Apparel that we're going to be talking about later. You put out, man, that was worse than Alabama, Notre Dame back in the day in 2013. What was your reaction? I guess what's your reaction as a former player to these last 2 years and where Kirby has brought this program?
Man, it's amazing to see them. It's just like we seeing all our hard work pay off. Like we we kind of put in the groundwork. I know we don't get a lot of credit, but we put in the groundwork to change that program around because the program, when I got there in 2011, we was in a state where we hadn't been to an SEC championship in a while, and being able to lay that foundation and being able to see those guys win is like I'm winning because we was always close to getting there, but we just never got over that hump. So it's amazing to see them get over the hump and finally get these championships.
So you was getting those texts too? Those texts where it was like, congratulations on your national championship. Good job. You were getting those?
Yeah, you know we always get them. We get them all year. It's every week. So,
yeah, for real. Congratulations.
So it's just like we won that thing when we didn't put any work into, on the field with those guys.
Now imagine like we had NIL back then. What's your thoughts on the NIL, man? I know it was like, bro, you wish we had that.
We had it. It just wasn't called NIL.
Hey, hold on. Don't say it. There ain't no we.
Yeah. I wish they would give me something.
Hey. But it's dope that they're able to receive money for their play and for their likeness. It's great to see that, times are changing and they're receiving some kind of compensation besides the education while they're in school. So I'm happy for them.
Yeah, for sure. You are a financial advisor now. What's some things you would advise these cats to do? How to save their bread a little bit, how much to put back, because I always say, hell, when I didn't know what no 1099 was like, so I know these cats don't. Those are things that's kind of hitting those guys, hitting those guys' brains and plates now. So what's some advice you would give to some of these young cats, handling this bread they're getting?
A young you, what would you say to yourself?
Yeah, if I knew what I knew now, I would tell them just make sure, you're not spending it all right now because you never know when your career is going to end. So being able to have the kind of compensation and the kind of income that they're getting right now, save that money because you may not go to the next level. And also get you a team, get somebody who actually, care about you. Like, I ain't gonna tell you it's good to invest, but don't invest all your money right now because you're gonna need
especially
that
with the stock market right now.
You're gonna need it if you don't make it to the next level. So you're gonna be able to use that money. You don't want to have those tax problems. And that's the main thing. Is understanding the tax problems that come with making all this money. Especially, I don't know, the NIL tax or whatever. But just make sure somebody is putting you up on game about taxes and how those things work.
There you go, there you go, Marlo. Alex Page trying to get you some work, man. He said you need to start advising some current athletes. You call Kirby up, say, "Listen, I'm your guy."
That might. I mean, it could happen, but I don't want to create, a conflict of interest because we are down there in Athens a lot at the games. So I don't want to create a conflict of interest.
Ain't no conflict, brother. You can you can do all you want to now with it. They don't care. It's Wild West out there now. You got people out there getting $8-10 million, quarterbacks coming in, freshmen. Ain't even played it down yet. Just absolutely ridiculous. I was going to ask, you practice. There's a topic we're going to be talking about with TK and Knowshon, and we'll get their opinions on it a little bit later. But you practice every day against Mike Bobo's offense. Mike Bobo's name's coming up a little bit now because, Todd Monken's getting interest from NFL teams as possibly being offensive coordinator. Georgia's not totally out of the woods yet with that. He could still go, and Mike Bobo's on staff now and rumored to be a guy who could maybe slide into that role should that happen. What are your thoughts on remembering, going up against that Mike Bobo coached offense and how was it to defend?
Oh man, you gotta love the offense. I mean, everybody questions some of his play calling, not me, but a lot of fans always question his play calling at certain points in the game. But he always had big plays. So I mean, if you watch Knowshon, if you watch, TK, those guys had big explosive plays. And we kind of seen that this year. We didn't see it last year, but he had big explosive, pass plays and then also big explosive run plays. I mean, we didn't have that last year. So last year going into the championship, we didn't have many runs over 20 yards. So with Bobo, I mean, if you watch those guys, Todd, Keith, Knowshon, Isaiah, all of those guys had big explosive runs every week. And so being able to see that and with those running backs that we have, it could be exciting again just to have him out there. And he's part of, that culture, the Georgia culture from a long time. He's like a big part of the culture there. And I would love to see him get the keys again to see what he do with these young guys.
Hey, bro.
Go ahead.
Tell me we wasn't competing out there crazy with Grantham, Bobo. Man, I just remember going at it. I remember duking it out. Me and my boy Sean Williams just swinging one day. Man, every day was so competitive, bro. Boykin, Rambo, Tree, Cornelius. Every day was so competitive. And then on our side, you had cats like Ben Jones that are getting that just go at you. So it was fun, man. It was a fun environment. But yeah, bro. Speak to that and the camaraderie that builds. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, at practice we did get it in. We got it in a lot. I mean, especially those rivalry weeks. Like we put in a lot of work. People don't see it, but we put in a lot of work. It was like those years when we was taken to the ground. Before we started, after y'all left, we didn't take to the ground so much.
Crazy.
But taking to the ground, full pass, we was full pass so much during the season.
Yeah, it was going at it.
It was crazy, and you live inside drill, like it get real competitive, and then those coaches are like competitive. I mean, they know each other. You've seen it when Grantham was at Florida and all of those other schools. Like those guys want to compete and they want to expose, the faults in that offense or the defense.
Bro, it was hilarious, bro. I can remember being, we doing competition drills and things like that. I can remember, having the script and being like, all right, that's the next play. Bobo being like,
No,
we got to switch this. We got to skin their ass up right here. So, right, it was just a fun environment. He's definitely a fun coach to your point, and just a competitive coach. And to your point, a Georgia dude. So yeah, man. And then I spoke about camaraderie early. Some of your best friends then are still your best friends now. We had Todd on last week, Malcolm Mitchell. Keith, that's your crew. Those are your guys. I speak to just how Georgia brought y'all together and things like that.
Yeah, so some of my main class, we got Malcolm, Swan, that's my boy, Corey, and you got even Conley. So those are the guys that came in with me, and we spent a lot of time together. Obviously, I was one of the first to commit to Georgia in my class. So I was given the task of, calling other guys, recruiting other guys, making sure that they were still committed to Georgia. And then by that time, you gain a relationship. You start playing each other. School 7-on-7, then we go to 7-on-7 camps. So you build a relationship with them quick, and then also the young guys. We have Keith, Todd, those are my guys, and that just come over time because you're the top players on the team, and so you start building the bond. You start hanging out outside of he said Girl Street Friday.
Yes, sir.
But you start building the bond with them outside of the facility, and then even with with your class, TK, how I can call you anytime, you can call me anytime. We hang out together. So just being around each other outside of football, it creates that bond even more. And then once you hit the locker room, once you hit that field, being that butts all the time, you just start to gel with one another.
You know what I was just thinking too when we talk about camaraderie and bonding. You know what really brought people together, I feel like. It just, everyone was hurting together, was those mat drills. If they call you right now, say, yo, come get a mat drill, and you going?
Nah, I can't do that no more.
I might try it. You know how I am. I'm like, I might try. I might be like, yeah, let me go out there and see if I can.
Yeah, I mean, mat drills, I used to kill mat drills. They used to get mad at me because I go in there. I know your mouth gonna get dry, so I'm in there. I'm in there chewing bubble gum on the slide. I'm like, my mouth ain't about to get dry.
Wait, they didn't allow y'all to chew gum? I don't remember them doing that to us.
Yeah, I don't know if we could chew gum or not.
You couldn't chew no gum. Y'all had the old mat drills and
ours was worse than y'all's.
What? It was?
What you mean? I'm saying the ones we did, bro. Over in the Ramsey, son.
Oh, the Ramsey. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
In the bottom of the Ramsey.
See, we was, we had the little indoor there.
Nope.
The little 50 part. But we had to be out there in the rain too. So
okay, it's different.
5:00 in the morning, and we doing a rope. We doing a rope with Bobo them, and
it's raining.
And cold.
And your shirt soaked.
Yeah, and then you got to go to the ladder outside, and we all got on tennis shoes, so you slipping when you trying to get up out of there. So, and then you go right.
They hit you with one of these.
Oh man! And then you go in, and then you go get on the mat, and everybody is slipping trying to jump out. So it was fun.
You know what would be hilarious, man? If they let that be like a open event where people can go and watch. Yeah,
bro.
They would be like, bro, I can't believe they put these kids through this,
bro. They definitely do not need to do that, bro.
Thumbs down, even when it's good. That's crazy.
Yeah,
sure.
The standard has seemed to just and as high as the standard was, it seems like the standards just crept up and up under Kirby. I got one question for you. Todd wasn't real. We had Todd Gurley on a couple weeks ago. Todd, I don't think keeps up with football quite as much as you do, Armarlo. I wanted to.
Boy, say he's traveling the world, Blayne.
Yeah, I wanted to see what your thoughts were on the leaked pregame speech. It wasn't for the TCU game, but it was the leaked pregame speech that Kirby had before the LSU game, I think. Did you catch that, and what'd you think about that?
That's not nothing. If you heard Grantham speaking what he do in the locker room before a game, you'll be like, that's not nothing.
Grantham, that's not nothing?
I don't know if you remember how Grantham knuckles used to be bleeding. He would break a white board before the game. He would punch the board before the game. So that speech, that was a good speech, but you got to realize, if you go in that locker room before any game,
it's popping.
All coaches going to speak like that. Maybe Coach Rick ain't going to say all the curse words.
Coach Rick ain't saying all that.
He's not saying curse words, but his speech is going to be just like that. But if you ever listen to Grantham or Pruitt talk before a game, you'll be like, oh, yeah, you ready to go hit something.
Nice.
I got you. I don't know if Alex Page asked how was Van Gorder pregame. Were you under Van Gorder at all?
Van Gorder.
Okay, yeah, I didn't think you did. Knowshon, he was there when you were there, right? Van Gorder was.
Yeah.
I think he had DBs or something. No.
I forget what he had.
Nah,
he would have been the DC when he was there. So Van Gorder would have.
Yeah, he was.
Now I don't think so. Now I think that sounds familiar though.
He was there with y'all, TK.
He was?
He was doing something though. But I don't know.
Yeah, because Grantham came in 2010. So that year y'all went, I think y'all went 5-5 and lost.
I don't think he was there with us.
He might have already moved on past then. I know he was there in the early part of it, but of the Rick Dare and stuff like that. But last question I got for you, Marlo, before we let you run, man. I just wanted, we've talked about the pregame speeches and all that kind of stuff. You talked about Grantham. Grantham's also, we talk about SEC wide here. It's not just Georgia. Grantham is being rumored. He's being rumored for the Alabama job. Jeremy Pruitt, both guys that you played for. What would the Crimson Tide be getting if either one of those guys became their new DC?
He'd been at Alabama before. So
yeah.
I mean, what all defense are running this year? It's the same thing that Grantham ran. Grantham is a little bit more complex than all the other ones. Pruitt and I know Pruitt and Kirby probably run the exact same defense. So it's dumbed down to make it very simple. Grantham, I don't know how it is now, but TK can attest to it. It's complicated. I mean, it's 3 calls in one play, 3-4 calls in one play that you
should take you out of one.
Yeah, that you're basing off formation, that you're basing off motion and all of these other things. But I think either of those guys, would be great at a DC. They did it before. I mean, Grantham been all over. Pruitt did it at Alabama. He went to the national championship at FSU. So both of those guys are great. I mean, I played for both of them, and I enjoy, both of their different coaching styles and personalities. Grantham is more so a DN rush type of guy, and Pruitt is, DBs, just like Kirby is. So, being able to have either one of those in the SEC is very important because they definitely changed the game.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Well, guys, you got anything for Marlo before we let him run here?
No, man, I appreciate you coming on. Definitely want to give you an opportunity to let everybody know what you got going on. Tell them about your book for sure. I got it over here, right over here somewhere.
Yeah, I wish I had one in here. But the book is called "Was It Worth It?" and it's pretty much I wrote it when I was in a coming out of a mental spot that I didn't want to be in, and so it's about 4 different athletes and their experience with playing sports and learning was it worth it, and learning all the trials and tribulations. If we knew we was going to be where we at today, will we put ourselves through all of the things that we've been through? So learning the mental aspect of all of these athletes and kind of figuring out that we all kind of think the same, but we all have different paths, but they all lead the same. They all going to lead the same place at some point. So we all going to be done playing our sport that we playing. And then we're going to have to figure out, what's next. And, being able to hear other people talk about their experience is very important. And it's a great insight if you're not an athlete and never been an athlete. It's a great insight on the mind and how these athletes think. Yeah.
Was it worth it? Armarlo Herrera on Amazon. So make sure you check it out. You can get it on Amazon today. Man, we appreciate you coming on, Armarlo, so much. And man, make sure to tell everybody, all your teammates, this is the spot. They got to stop in with us here on the Georgia Players section. Chop it up with us.
Oh yeah. We already know. We just gotta get the invite. Once we get the invite,
it's easy. It's easy. Exactly. I just gotta shoot the text out.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much for tuning in, man.
All right, Marlo. Appreciate it, big dog.
I appreciate it. Yeah.
Armarlo Herrera joined us, and guys, lots of great stories there when it comes to the competition there in practice. And that's something we're going to get to the quarterback battle in a minute and SEC quarterback battles around the league. But first, we're going to start with Mike Bobo here in that topic because, it's a big one right now. People are like, wondering what's going to go on with Todd Monken. On Monday night on UGA Sports Rumors versus Facts, I had Dylan Raiola, the number one overall prospect in the class of 2024, a quarterback on, and I asked him, hey, what's Georgia been saying to you about this possible switch at coordinator and stuff like that? And he said that he was happy for Coach Monken being able to go interview, but he said, and I quote, he said, but Kirby's already said that, the next guy's already there on staff ready to step into the role. So he said that's what Kirby told him. I would assume that would be Mike Bobo. So I want to let you guys both have the opportunity, since you played for Bobo as a coordinator, because Bobo's not without his detractors out here. There's fans and stuff like that being like, oh no, don't bring Bobo back and stuff like that. But I feel like there's some misleading stuff out there, because if you go look at the numbers, Georgia's offense wasn't hurting. And by the way, not to make you guys or me feel old, but that was about 10 years ago. You know what I'm saying? So what is y'all's thoughts on that possible development? And just tell us both of your perspectives about Mike Bobo as a coach and a coordinator.
Me, man, I want to talk about him as a man first. I spent so much time with him. I want to talk about him as a person. He's a genuine person, cares about his players, bottom line, for one, and then as a whole, as a human. And then after that, he is about ball. He's a son of a coach. He's been in the game for, forever. He's been a Georgia guy forever. Obviously played at Georgia. I mean, his passion for, the red and black runs so deep. So you can only imagine giving this opportunity again would just, fill his cup. But, like you said, there's folks out there that think that I don't know what they think, because like you said, if you look at the stats, I think our senior year, we averaged 40 points a game. When I left, they averaged, the year I left, junior year, we averaged 40. Year after that, it was like 42. A couple years later, I think they were still averaging like 38 points a game. So it's kind of crazy when you think about it in those regards. But as a coach, man, he's just a phenomenal person to be around. One, but he cares because he cares about his players. But man, he's gonna push you. He's gonna push you to be the best. He's gonna push you. He's gonna get everything that he can out of you. One, and then for sure, I wanted to hit on those two things first. Sauce, you can kind of get into it too. Yeah. And we can dive into scheme as well, if you want to.
Mm-hmm. No, for sure, I'm right with you on that, TK. I think Bobo can push you, man. He knows how to push young men and get the best out of everyone. Especially on that offense. And I think he's really creative. And he knows how to use the weapons when the weapons are there. When we were there, we had some weapons that we could use. We don't have the weapons that they have now, though, right?
I was about to say, I think the overall talent level may have, creeped up just a tad.
Yeah, them boys different, boy.
And that's what I would have loved to see, is what he can do with a super, super talented team like Georgia is right now. And we had some good ones in the past. And like TK said, man, we were putting numbers up. It was never going into a game like we weren't going to score as many points as we needed to win. And you think about the players that got drafted out of the offense that he ran. And first quick one that comes out of mind is Stafford, number 1 overall quarterback out there running his offense. So I think he can get the job done, man. I love the energy, honestly, that he brings. And he's just going to get the most out of you, and he ain't going to take no for an answer. The first thing I can think about is one time, we used to, after games, right? After games, we would have, in practice, we would have to do either up downs or do something for the MAs that we had throughout the game. So this one week, we had a lot of MAs on offense.
Missed assignments for the layman terms out there.
Sorry, yep, missed assignments. And that day we had to run every single one of those plays that we got wrong perfectly, and you know what I mean. And then we can leave practice. So this was at the end of practice, and I'm already in a bad mood.
It was 4 plays in a row though, like yeah, like a stampede is what they call it.
It was a tempo kind of drill at the end of practice where we had to run like 10 plays and run them perfectly. So you know I'm in my mood, and I don't know what was up with me that day, but you know we go through all 10 plays, get to the last couple plays. And the last play is a handoff to the running back to score, and then we would have been done. Last play, Stafford hands me the ball. I grab the ball. I punt it over the gate. Right? He goes, run it again. We run it again. 15 plays. Run it up all the way to the end. 1 play. We done. We go inside. Pass the Knowshon. Give him the handoff. Punt it over. I think we did it 3 times. We ran about 60 plays. Finally, and I think we would have been out there all day. But finally, man, we get to the last play. Stafford's supposed to pass, give me the ball on the last play. He pulls it. It goes and scores. And Bobo calls him up like, all right, everyone up. But just that kind of mentality where it's like, we're going to do it perfectly and over and over again until the end. And I like that. I like that about him. It really pushed me. And everyone was pissed off. I'll tell you that one. Everyone in that huddle was like, bro, please don't kick the ball again. You know what I mean? And I want to apologize to whoever the TA was or the equipment manager. I don't know who it was, but he had to go over there in the street and go pick up
to the baseball, all the way to the baseball. Yo,
so I apologize who that was.
Yeah, hey. No, pure comedy. You know, somebody said something up here about, you know, I think it's Low Elo Joe. He said
you can count me in as the Bobo hater group.
Yeah, his offense put up points but couldn't get it done versus top teams. You know, one thing I will say, like, the game of football, bro, has definitely evolved since then. 10 years is a very long time, like Blayne said. And if Todd Monken leaves, it's not like Bobo didn't just sit there and under another crazy mind and just download everything that he does, bro. Because Coach Bobo is that type of dude. There were times and weeks where we would watch film and he'd be like, oh, we taking that. I mean, we put it in and we dial up a double move, bam, Z-bang, and be wide open. So things like that. He just got to sit behind another, not sit behind, assist another great mind in Todd Monken. So it's not like he hasn't learned things. It's not like he hasn't grown as a play caller. So I think that narrative is kind of
Knowshon, look, Andy Stowe found your football, man. He said he
what?
he said he found it outside the football facility. That's one you punted away during practice.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I apologize for that.
Well, kick that thing in the bushes.
It was a hilarious. I mean, looking back on it, it's hilarious. But to your point, I mean, he's been doing it for a while, man. Like you said, Blayne, it's been 10 years. He's learned so much ball since then.
You know, Todd Monken himself, like I said, we're talking about this purely in what could happen, things like that, because Todd Monken may very end up staying, and I think I would even lean that way that he is staying right now. But it's not just going to be the Ravens and the Bucks that come after Todd Monken. There's going to be other teams as some of these coaching moves get made that'll attempt to come at him probably. But I guess the last thing before we move off of this topic and talk about the quarterback battle is I wanted to let you guys talk about scheme-wise. How big of an adjustment did you have to make going from Mike Bobo's offense to the NFL offense? What was the terminology like, that kind of stuff in terms of differences and how you had to fit in?
Man, I mean, for me, we both went to the same place, but I guess different times. For me, it wasn't crazy, terminology wise. We ran a real true pro style offense where you had to do a lot of blocking, you had to do a lot of read blocking, you had to do a lot of side adjustments, whether it was the corner or off the safety. Those are things that you have to do in a Mike Bobo offense. So those are things that you have to know in a Mike Bobo offense. So you're going to be ready. You're going to be NFL ready leaving there. Now, like I said, I was drafted to the Broncos, so it's a little different stepping in that huddle with 18, the sheriff, and he's saying a whole bunch of Omahas. He said a whole bunch.
So I don't think anything can really get you prepared for that kind of.
Yeah, I was my head was hitting it. So
what about
it's a little different.
What about the run game, Knowshon? I mean, in terms of, I know, I mean, you can only do so many things, inside zone power, all that toss. Now they didn't have the 48 boss in there in the NFL probably with that old fullback lead toss, but
right. Yeah, we had a fullback for a real short time with the Broncos, not much, but yeah, man, like TK said, it's pro style offense, man. So it ain't nothing really. That was super different. It's just that terminology in the league, man. I mean, the play call is this long, you know what I mean? And you only listening for your specific part. So it's kind of funny where you just like, they're like, you hear the protection, slide right or whatever. And then they say all these receivers. And then you're just like, scat right. You're like, all right, cool. I got my little scat right over here. And I got my protection. But he definitely got you ready, man. It wasn't that hard.
TK, we didn't talk about this beforehand. I'm gonna put you on the spot. Do you remember a play call either in the league or in college that you remember one that you're like, that's one you remember hearing called in the huddle?
Man, not necessarily off the top of my head.
He's saying one that we heard at Georgia, that we heard in the league.
I mean, I guess in the league.
Or no, either one. I'm saying just people who haven't been in a college huddle or NFL huddle. What does something kind of sound like? You may not get it word for word.
Go ahead, TK. Yeah, you got this one.
You can go like flank right Z stack.
Yeah, sounds about right.
You can go flank right Z stack X max Y dig Z Pablo or something like that. Something crazy. So I mean, everybody's tagged. I didn't even say protection. So I mean, everybody's tagged. I've been in so many offenses. It's kind of hard to do too. So just off the top of my head, but yeah, I mean, it's pretty extensive.
And I'll tell you what, though, what helped out definitely. Not all offenses do this either. When we were with Bobo, he would give us 2 plays in a huddle, you know what I mean? And Stafford would check to the one that he liked better. And that's the same thing that happened with Peyton, you know what I mean? He would give us, 2 plays in the huddle, go to the line of scrimmage, and he had, hey, check, blue. And then we go into that next play. So that definitely helped out.
And I'm sure everything has evolved because Todd Monken said, and people understand, whether it's Todd Monken or whether it's Mike Bobo or whether it's whoever, I think we've reached a point in Georgia football where the system is in place. And I think Kirby Smart is going to do very much similar to what Mike Gundy has done out in Oklahoma State, where he'll bring in new coordinators and stuff like that, but he's still running his system. And I think Kirby Smart is basically going to make Todd Monken's system his system, and whoever comes in to call it, that's what they're going to be doing. They're going to be calling his. That's what Nick Saban has done at Alabama. He's still running the same system that Lane Kiffin installed there in 2014. He's just changing who's calling the plays, but it's the same system.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I was saying. He just watched. I mean, everybody's coming after Todd Monken for a reason. So if he leaves, like we said,
that's a funny one, Chris.
Look at Chris. He said, y'all ever got to the line of scrimmage and realized you forgot to play?
Man, hell yeah. Like, as a receiver, you out there like, what? You out there like, hey, what I got?
See, that must be bad when you're a receiver because you got to talk to the next receiver next to you. And what if he don't really know what you got?
Yeah, you right there, bro. He could be like, hey. You know what I'm saying?
See,
and I've been out there when we both out there just like, especially you out there with a rookie, you out there with another rookie training camp. You like, oh,
bro, it's been me before where I'm like, he calls the play, break, and we walk into the huddle. I'm like, bro, what I got? And that's what's good about being next to the quarterback because I was just like, bro, what I got again? He'd be like, check Mike to flat, and I'm like, oh, perfect.
Coordinators, they hate this shit. They hate when you in the stance like this, like yo, they hate that. They hate that. Like, man, you got us out here looking crazy, bro. I need to know what's going on, sir.
Man.
Yeah, that's a great question, Chris. That's hilarious.
Listen, before we get to the SEC quarterback battles and Georgia quarterback battle here, go ahead, TK, raise up there a little bit and show off your smack apparel that you got fresh in there.
It was at
Smack
the doorstep today.
Listen, Smack Apparel is the new partner here with Georgia Players Section. You can help us out, and we're going to help you out 10% off if you use the promo code UGA Sports. You can see TK's shirt there with the horned frog in the mouth of the bulldog they got over there. Yeah, Knowshon, it takes a little bit longer to get to Colorado, but here's one. Saturdays we hunkered down.
TCU,
They got all kinds of stuff over there. So go to smackapparel.com. It's in the description. It's scrolling across the bottom of the screen. And use the promo code UGA Sports. You make UGA in the S capital. UGA Sports, 10% off. And, we would greatly appreciate it. It helps us here at the show and also helps you guys get some cool gear and get a little percentage off of it. So we appreciate you a lot.
Hey, Lojo said you don't know your route under Kirby, you're gonna get an earful. That my dog Kirby be having the microphone at practice. He gonna let you know. Boy, he's
absolutely. I would have liked to see how he coached, man. Right when I got there, he recruited me. I played the spades with him. We talked about how great it was gonna be when I'm in that backfield and in that room with him. And then I get there, he leaves to Alabama. Kirby.
He bust your ass in spades?
Nah, he wasn't busting nothing. He thought he was busting.
Oh.
Hey, Bobo as well. I play Bobo in spades and Coach G. All of them. They think they nice. They be cheating too. Bobo and Coach G together, you gotta watch them. They be passing cards under the table. You gotta watch them.
Under the table, guys? Okay.
Bro, you gotta watch them.
All right, so
Dude.
SEC.
Hold on, Blayne, before you get into the other quarterbacks. Nah, for real. I gotta ask y'all a question about the incident that just happened with the old boy, with Steezy. I gotta ask this because listen, what's your thoughts on it? Because going into it last week, man, you know what I mean? We talked about what round he could possibly go in. I was more of a 4 or 5 kind of guy. Everyone was saying more of a 3, which was cool. But like, when you see something like this happen, man, you gotta think that it kind of, hinders those chances of going that early, no?
I mean, I don't know. It's public intoxication. Should he have been doing it, and especially in the part of town that he was doing it in? Probably not. But
it's not Georgia, man.
But I'm just saying, I'm sure that every one of those GMs that is going to be looking at him drafting, be like, yeah, I've been there. I've done that. So I'm sure.
So that doesn't hurt his chances at all.
I mean, if he was, I'm sure it does. I'm sure it doesn't help. Listen, all it does is it gives people another bullet, in the chamber.
And I hate that about that. You know what I mean? I hate how it's kind of how that image can now be put on somebody like that. You know what I mean? And I feel like he's a good dude.
Mm-hmm. Well, here's what you got to do if you're Stetson. You got to hope that you're able to go to the combine. So hopefully for him, he'll get invited to the combine, and at the combine, he'll get a chance to meet with those guys and own up to it and do all that kind of stuff.
They're definitely going to ask in the combine. I see a page of saying, they ask everything. They ask everything.
Oh yeah.
And to Knowshon's point, it is unnecessary. I mean, I don't want to say it's unnecessary, but like obviously, Stetson's never, Quay never had anything like this come up. Okay, Quay never had anything like this come up before, or so I mean, to Unk's point, it does seem unnecessary, but they're definitely gonna ask his ass. But they ask you if you cheated on your test in 3rd grade. But
right, and I get it though, you know what I mean. And then he was more slotted to be like a later pick, so it might not hurt him as much. But imagine if you're a 1st round pick and something like that happens, you're not going in the 1st, right? Okay.
Yeah, I think since he's a middle round pick, I don't know how much it'll hurt. You're talking about maybe sliding from the 5th to the 6th, or the 6th to the 7th, or the 3rd to the 4th, or however it goes. I mean, it may be a little bit, but the only thing that stinks is now going into it, we'll never truly know what his true draft evaluation was, because now there's all this other stuff that could come into play and things like that. So, all right, moving on. We got to get to the Georgia quarterback battle. We talked about it a little bit last week in our offensive preview. You got Carson Beck, Brock Vandagriff, and Gunnar Stockton for Georgia, trying to replace Stetson Bennett. One of those guys is. And here's the thing. I've just gotten to the point where I watch, look at who's going to be playing in the Super Bowl, right? Yeah, Jalen Hurts and Patrick Mahomes, right? And it seems like whether it's the pro level, the college level, high school level, in championship games and teams that are championship caliber, you see quarterbacks that have legs and that can run. And I think Carson Beck, has a leg up in this, and he's more mobile than people think. But I think Brock Vandagriff and Gunnar Stockton are going to have an opportunity in this one because they can create with their legs. I mean, look at the national championship game this year. Stetson Bennett, Max Duggan, both running quarterbacks that got their teams there. And also dude buddy from Ohio State showed off more legs than he had ever before when he got to the playoff game against Georgia. So what is y'all's thoughts on this quarterback battle for Georgia, Beck and Vandagriff and Stockton?
I mean, for me, we kind of alluded to it a little last week. I definitely think it's Carson's to lose. He came in games and showed that he can get it done. And we talked about how when he came into the game, it wasn't just about, turning around and sticking it into the belly of a running back. It was about, him coming in and controlling his offense. And he does that with high command. I'd love to see him do that, a full game. But you kind of took the words out of my mouth, and that this league is a running league. This game is a running game. Week in and week out, you turn on the TV, Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday night, Monday night, Thursday night. Quarterbacks are 9 times out of 10 mobile, man. They're able to maneuver and get out of the pocket and extend plays. So I think the last quarterback that really stands just be sitting in the pocket retired today. So I mean, it's just
it's 75 years old. Tom Brady.
Yeah, TB12. But I just think it's tough, man. I agree with you in saying that Brock and Gunnar are a bit more mobile, and you just have to be, bro, with cats coming off the edge, and yeah, you have to be. And I think that the read option could be big with a guy like Gunnar Stockton who uses legs a lot at Raven County. So it's gonna be a great battle, man. It's gonna be a fun battle.
But I don't want anybody to think that Beck can't run. I'm not saying he can't run. He's just when he runs, to me, like when you look at
I've seen Gunnar Stockton running though. Like,
yeah. Well, let me say the best runner out of all three of them is Brock Vandagriff.
Yeah,
that dude can run. I'm talking about. He may go low 4.6s. Gunnar was timed out of high school in the high 4.7 range, and Beck is probably in the mid 4.8s. I would say, mid 4.8, something like that. But Beck, to me, with he's a little bit more slender. But hey, when he's tall, slender. When you look at it on Nat Geo or something like that, you see a giraffe running across the Sahara, or running across the safari out there, all that kind of stuff. I mean, that giraffe's moving. It just doesn't look like it's moving as good. You know what I'm saying? As a cheetah or a leopard. Something like that. Knowshon, what do you think from a running back standpoint now with these these guys on the edge, right? That on defense that can play the mesh point and make you guess and all that kind of stuff on zone read and all that kind of stuff. How much more confidence do you have as a running back when you got a quarterback that can pull it and make something happen as well? How much more successful does that make it for you as a running back?
Well, it just helps out the offense in general. You know what I mean? Where the defense, when you make the defense think, that's when things are in your favor as an offense. You know what I mean? So having that mesh and you're kind of holding it there makes the defense think a little bit. And if you have two runners back there that the quarterback could take off for 15 or the running back, just makes it tough. So we would love to have that for our offense, but we'll see. You said Carson can run a little bit. I didn't see him really run too much And I'm thinking about the spring game. That's the only thing I could think. I know he came in.
He took off and run, but in that environment they can't hit you. So
right. Right, yeah, understandable. But like he came in at the end of some games when we were up big, and he, like we said, he slaying that thing first play, and he got a nice little arm on him. And if you think about I'm thinking about the spring game versus our defense, he had the same amount of passing yards as Stetson did. You know what I mean? Two something. So I mean, he has an arm, he can get it done. It's just if he can get it done with his legs. But I feel like him and Brock kind of had a good spring game. So it'll be an interesting battle, but at the end of the day, like we all been saying, it's going to be Carson's to lose.
Yeah, this is his 4th year in the system under Todd Monken. So if Monken does end up staying, I think that would benefit Beck because it seems like and listen, they showed confidence. I don't know if it's that they were just showing confidence in Beck or that Kirby Smart really hates Shane Beamer. But as soon as he came in the South Carolina game, he was – I think by some of the things that Kirby mouthed over there on the sideline that the camera caught, I think I don't know that there's any love lost between Kirby Smart and Shane Beamer, but he came in there and let Beck they're up by like 40-something points. He's like, go ahead and sling that thing down the field to Oscar Delp. Yeah. We're going to put another touchdown on the board.
Yeah, but he can.
No doubt.
We're going to see if he can get out there and run, though, Blayne. We're going to see about this. You always going up and above and high and beyond. Talk about some 4. You know how fast a 4.6 is? So he running 4.6.
No, Vandergrift does. Brock Vandergrift does.
Okay.
Beck's a mid. Beck's probably mid 4.8. But laser time. These are laser time 40s that came out and all that kind of stuff. Okay. All right. Okay. So let me write that one down. That's Georgia's.
I always got to write down Blayne's. Whenever Blayne come up with something outrageous, I got to write it down so I can bring it up later on.
That's Georgia's right there. Okay. Now. We've got one, guys, here that we got to talk about. These other quarterback battles around the SEC. I think the most interesting one would be Ole Miss. I mean, Lane Kiffin bringing in some stud dogs in the portal in terms of guys available. Spencer Saunders, a 4-year starter at Oklahoma State. Walker Howard was a huge recruit for LSU. He ends up coming out, and you already have Jackson Dart there, a guy that he brought in from USC a year ago. Yeah, what's your guys' thought on the Portal King over there doing his deal?
A little crazy. I mean, considering I wouldn't say Jackson Dart had a terrible year. It wasn't great.
He had a great year.
Yeah, but really it wasn't great. But so I mean, considering really how he played, I mean, bringing those cats in is a little, I don't know, weird. But shit, I mean, you never know. You never know with Lane. You never know with the Lane train. I like him though. So he must see something in these cats. Spencer Sanders.
Speaking of cats, look at this deal. Jackson Dart's out here killing mountain lions and sending messages right now to Spencer Sanders and Walker Howard. He's over here saying, what are you boys doing? I'm out here killing mountain lions. He may have killed that thing with his bare hands for all we know. But his dad, look what his dad said. Look what his dad's saying up here. He said some people talking that ish during the off season and others just handle their business. Not a better way to end the break for Jackson Dart.
Hey, son, that's a big ass cat, yo.
That's the second cat I've seen that big. Because
that's him holding it.
They got one out here. They have freaking Wolf, Derek Wolf. He killed one out here too. Big.
Yeah, cat. I saw that Wolf. Wolf a wild boy too. But.
Yeah, listen, Dart can beat you with his legs, but really Spencer Saunders is also more of a leg guy. Neither one of them are like precision passers because they both struggled with accuracy. You look at that Alabama game, Ole Miss has a chance to go down and win the game, and Alabama just said, hey, we're going to play the sticks, we're going to play back at the goal line, and you can't fit it in there. So who do you guys think? Two similar quarterbacks really in Dart and Saunders. Saunders, here's the thing too. How does that hurt your reputation in the portal, like bringing people in, if you bring in a guy like Spencer Saunders who has 1 year eligibility left and he doesn't win the job, I mean, what are you guys' thoughts on crazy.
That? Yeah, I mean, that's weird. They got a package for them all, but it seems weird.
Who want that shit? Nobody want to do that.
No.
Yeah, I think that'd be strange as well. So that one's going to be interesting. Anybody?
This is maybe what he's thinking, though, but maybe he's thinking this real quick. Let me bring some comp in here, and whoever win the deal, right? Whoever win the starting job, they're gonna win it, and then the other people are just gonna hit the portal anyway. Just let them hit the portal or do whatever they're gonna do if they're a younger classman anyway, and then they'll be gone. What's Dart? Dart's like it's going into his junior year, no? What are you going into?
Sophomore, I think, redshirt sophomore or something like that. Because I think you got a year back. But I mean, if he don't win that job, anybody got a Dos Zapatos prediction they want to throw on that thing? Just let me know. I'll hit the button. If you let me know.
If he don't get the job there, he's gonna go over to Florida.
Oh,
I mean, that would be the solid destination spot right now.
Go ahead. Tell me to hit the button. I don't
want to do it on that.
Okay. We may do it on the next one. The next one we have is the Missouri Tigers, who have an interesting quarterback battle. They got Brady Cook, who was there, started doing his thing for Missouri a little bit at the end, led them to some quality play at the end of the year. Sure. But they have Sam Horn there, who's from Collins Hill High School in Georgia. Many people thought that Sam would get drafted in the MLB draft, and he hadn't really played yet like people thought he would. They've been saying for a couple years. And then they bring in Jake Garcia from Miami, who was committed to USC one time, ends up flipping to Miami, and now he's leaving Coral Gables and coming up to Columbia, Missouri. Guys, do you think Brady Cook can hold on to this job, or is this going to be something that Sam Horn and hey, this is interesting because, listen, let's be honest, Missouri played Georgia the tightest of any team all year this past year, and they're going to be really good on defense. They're returning I think 10 – they're going to have 10 guys on their defense that are seniors next year. So Missouri's going to be a sleeper team a little bit. What do you think is going to happen at their quarterback battle here?
You want me to go? Nah, well, listen, still, just like the other teams that we talk about, it's still Brady's job to lose, man. He had such a great year last year, keeping him in some games, kept his interceptions down. And, I mean, he just had a really, really decent year, almost hit that 3,000 mark for passing yards. So, I mean, it's still his to lose. And something rubs me the wrong way when I have a kid transferring 3 times before he even gets on the field within that Jake Garcia dude. So he got a lot of work to do. He got to show me something. So, but maybe Sam Horn can go in there and do something. But for right now, I'm really giving the job to Brady. And if there's other guys to take the job, they go take the job. It's just that he just had such a great year. And it's tough to just take the job away from him once he had a great year like that. So, yeah, that's it. I don't know.
This one we can do.
I don't like that Jake business though. Come on, Jake. Transferred 3 times?
Yeah, I can't give him that.
Well, he didn't transfer. He didn't transfer. He was committed to USC, decommitted, whatever, all that kind of stuff. So this one we can do real quick. Jaden Daniels, Garrett Nussmeier. I mean, they're saying it's going to be Jaden Daniels all the way, but guys, after the SEC championship, I feel like you got to at least give Garrett Nussmeier a long look in the spring.
Super disrespectful. You should listen, man. These guys earn these jobs. It has to be taken. It's almost like a boxer going into the ring or a UFC fighter.
Oh, I said they got to give him a long look.
Yeah, I love. Listen. I love Nussmeier. Honestly, I really love the man's arm. I love his presence in the pocket. I love everything about him. I wouldn't even be mad if he transferred and went to another school because I mean he can start right away.
Yeah, he's that nice.
Florida. He's that nice. But Florida. But it's just Jaden, man. What a year that Jaden had. Come on, bro. The interceptions down. How many interceptions he had? 3 on the whole year, bro. The efficiency is so great, and then he did it with his legs. So it's kind of hard to go away from the Jaden Daniels after so much that he did last year. So he comes back healthy, let them roll.
All right, we're moving right on. TK, you take this one. Joe Milton at Tennessee is supposed to have that job, but Big Money Nico is coming in. Listen, reportedly $8 to $10 million of NIL with the Tennessee Collective up there. How do you see that one playing out, TK?
Money talk. Nah, man. It's similar, but money talks because Joe Milton he did play well for those guys in the bowl game. He showed that he could lead that team. He's shown that he could lead that team before.
Well, to be fair, they were playing Clemson. Come on now. I mean,
yeah.
Clemson's awful.
Yeah. You know, my dog Dabo. That's my dog. Get off of him, but nah. I definitely think it's Joe Milton's to lose. Obviously, with Nico coming in getting that bread, that's gonna come into play for sure, bro. Because I mean, folks ain't just paying the kid $10 million to be.
Yeah, well, how
he got long hair? They gonna call him Clipboard Jesus, like
I don't get how this all gonna
like
work.
They did my dog Charlie Whitehurst. They ain't paying people 10 M's to just be sitting there. So
he can sit there. He can still sit.
No,
red shirt. And then still come out and play, like you know. What I mean?
He can do that. He can do that. Let Joe Milton get the acting up. He definitely comes.
I gotta do it.
She don't want that 2-footed bad boy. She don't want that Dos Zapatos animal. You know what I'm saying?
That was Zapatos.
Dos Zapatos, son. You gotta make a prediction and stand on it with 2 feet. And I'm gonna say that Joe Milton will have that job just for a little while, because here's what's going to happen. He's going to get in there, and Joe's going to end up decapitating a couple people in the top section with a incomplete pass over there, and they're going, because he has a cannon, but sometimes he don't. But sometimes it ain't sighted in very well. You know what I'm saying? And he don't know where it's going. And what's going to happen is the people that control the purse strings, so to speak, they're going to get in Heupel's ear and say, "Hey, you remember that $9.5 million dollar contract you got? You remember that $10 million we've promised to old Nico over there? Well, we don't like him just collecting splinters in his butt on the bench over there. So, let's go get. I think my Dos Zapatos prediction is that Nico Iamaleava will be the quarterback for Tennessee, the full-time starter before the season's over.
Hey, I'll stand with you on that. I think, but I do like Joe, man. If we talking about Tennessee and that offense, Joe, I like him, bro. If he get it under control, bro. You say you're gonna kill a couple people in the first row, bro.
Let me ask you a quick question. Y'all crazy.
Go ahead.
Let me ask you a real quick question, though. We talking about, I'm going back to Jaden. I'll be doing this. I'll be thinking, and then I got to go back to it. Jaden Daniels, I mean, he almost had 100 yards, almost 1,000 yards rushing as well. Out of all the quarterbacks in the SEC coming back, who's that top quarterback you think coming out? Who's that top SEC quarterback this next year coming up? I think it is going to be Jaden. Who do y'all think?
Jaden Daniels is up there. I mean, Devin Leary is going to be really good at Kentucky. I'm telling you, he's gonna do some good things with Liam Cohen being over there. I think Robbie Ashford's going to have a good year at Auburn with his wheels with what Hugh Freeze can do. I don't think he's going to be great, but maybe one of the best pure quarterbacks. Yeah. Now he's going to have to make an adjustment because he lost his offensive guy and mentor and Mike Leach. Will Rogers is coming back for Mississippi State, and we know that what Will Rogers can do.
Okay, Will.
On there too.
How you gonna say he after watching Spencer Rattler after the last 2 weeks of them boys? How you look at Blayne?
which Spencer Rattler? Which one? We talking about the first 8 games or the last 2?
I'm joking, boy.
Oh man, my God!
Nah, hey. If you do get,
he's gonna be in the mix. He was in the mix last year.
Listen, he had 1 month there where it was Rattober, and dude went crazy, but it's a little bit different now. The last one we got to talk about. Well, we talk about Florida because really they don't have a quarterback. They brought in Graham Mertz, who's just not been.
It's gonna be one of these boys that just transferred to one of these schools.
Yeah, listen, I think that could be a Dos Zapatos prediction.
Hey,
you could say,
I'm about to stay. Click it. I'm about to stand on that.
Hold on, I'll play it right.
She don't want that 2-footed bad boy. She don't want that Dos Zapatos animal. You know what I'm saying?
Let me tell you something. Like my boy Blayne say. Check this out. One of these quarterbacks that just came to Ole Miss, Spencer Sanders, Walker Howard, Jake Garcia, somebody that we just talked about will end up being a Florida quarterback because I don't think they on a roster right now, bro. And then you got
one of these Georgia quarterbacks
exactly,
could end up
bro. Like, yeah, exactly. I looked at like Brock and Gunner's name and I was like, well, damn. So I mean, man, with everything that's going on, I'ma stand on that with 10 toes, bro. I don't think Graham Mertz or Jack Miller is the guy. I don't think Billy has his guy right now at Florida, and I like Billy Napier. That's my dog. Recruited me at Clemson. Like him a lot, good dude. But I don't think he has his guys right now. So
all I'm gonna say is some guys are meant to be coordinators and not head coaches. I'll leave it right there. And then the second, the last one, Alabama, Ty Simpson, Jalen Milroe. Listen, they don't have the offensive coordinator yet. Nick Saban got turned down, interviewed to do at Washington. What dude at Washington came down, interviewed, said, no, thanks. I'm going to stay up at Washington with Michael Penix. When the GOAT gets turned down like that, you got to question what's going on at Alabama. But you got Jalen Milroe, who's a run first, more of a read option, maybe some RPO stuff, and can absolutely chunk it a mile. And then you got Ty Simpson, who is more in the vein of the quarterback style that Nick Saban has had there. They don't have their offensive coordinator yet. In my opinion, this is going to be predicated a lot on who comes in, because I know that, like I said earlier in the show, just like I think Kirby Smart would do if Todd Monken left, he would still run Monken's system. Nick Saban's going to run the same system that he has with all these coordinators coming through. But if it's somebody like Greg Roman, who has been Lamar Jackson's offensive coordinator at Baltimore the last couple of years and was the coordinator for Colin Kaepernick in San Fran, then Jalen Milroe would have a huge advantage over there then. But if it's somebody else, if it's Cliff Kingsbury or somebody else like that comes in, I think Ty Simpson's got an advantage. What's your guys' thoughts?
I think it all goes back to the legs. Both of those guys got really good legs, but I think Jalen Milroe's legs are a lot better. When we've seen him, we've seen him.
But man, they struggled in those games. The Texas A&M game.
Yeah, they definitely did. But shit, those are games that he was kind of thrown into the fire. Like, it was like, you the guy. So, I mean, but that being said, you have to be ready for those moments.
And he played well in that Tennessee game, right? I mean, I feel like
he didn't play in Tennessee. He played against Texas. He played Arkansas, and they ended up pulling away. But that was because Jahmyr Gibbs busted 2 huge runs at the end. They were in danger mode there at the end of the third quarter. Like Arkansas, the ground started shaking a little bit over there, and at Arkansas, they got a little hyped over there when they started coming back. But no, I think it's going to be interesting, guys. We've went past our time here. We appreciate everybody tuning in. So many people in here this time. Listen, we love this show. We love being able to put it on for you guys. Help us out. Use that promo code UGA Sports with Smack Apparel. Go to smackapparel.com. And guys, listen,
we're going to be bringing. Got another year. Tim Collins said. He's done that. I might believe him.
Absolutely. But listen, guys, we appreciate all of you so much. Hit the like, subscribe, turn on notifications for my guys, TK and Knowshon. I am Blayne Gilmer, and we'll catch you next time on Georgia Players Section with Tavarres and Knowshon on UGAsports.com.
The best in this sport, whether you like it or not, learn to love it, because it's the best thing going today. Woo!